blights and violence. So it's worth noting that. But overall, violence, crimes in America has been downward, trajectory for 3 decades. So with that in mind, it's time for the cities with the safety records to see which ones are good, because I'm pretty sure people want to know this. So for number 10 on our top list, if y'all thinking about relocating and picking up, because it get cold over here in Boston, where we're doing our show from, Laredo, Texas is considered top 10, okay? It's a Democratic state, and the population there is 261,000 people, okay? The predominantly Latino city of Laredo ranks as both one of America's least diverse and racially diverse cities, okay? And one of its safest, all right? Its violent crime rate of 377 incidents per 1,000 residents, okay? So that's 11% below the national average and 18% lower than the state of Texas, hugging the Mexican border directly across the Rio Grande from Laredo, Mexico, okay? Now, Laredo files in the face of what too many Americans think about or think of major cities. So Laredo has just 10 homicides in 2008, okay? So I'm pretty sure they down there getting their fuck on, because it seems cool when you got Latinas over there. Though by no means, affluent, it is a median household income of 39. So let's put it at 40,000 a year, and is a 14,000 lower than the national average. So Laredo has a thriving restaurant scene, highlighted too, of course, by unsurprisingly authentic Mexican cuisine. So Texas A&M International University calls Laredo home, and then despite being just like the 10th largest city in Texas, the city has its own orchestra. All right, that's dope. And a popular semi-professional soccer team. So no less than 24 Catholic churches of all masses, you know what I'm saying, in Espanol. So in each winter, the city hosts a national Rion bird watching festival as well. You know what I'm saying? Like an annual Mardi Gras celebration for George Washington's birthday, featuring colonial costumes, balls and parades and muy bueno and more stuff, okay? Now, number 9 on our list. Again, if you're trying to get off the East Coast because it's cold and your soul is cold and you're just ready to let go, and you can't afford to live in LA, you can go to Athens, California. And it's a Republican state. 300,000, despite the widely held but completely understandable urge to exterminate Mickey Mouse. Now, this part of California homes to original Disneyland theme park, and squeaks past Laredo for 9th spot in 2018. Okay. Its gravitational pull, the center squarely in Disneyland, brings the city's tourists major business conventions and hospitals and dollars, that fuels its economy. So Disneyland is there. And factoring is not only it's 30,000 employees, so they got 30,000, they got jobs, surrounding jobs that help create Disneyland creates an estimate of $5.7 billion for the Southern California each year. So, however, tourism inadvertently breeds robbery, and definitely that comes with it. Basic mugging, Number 8, I'm gonna want to move here. Fuck you, Ray. Lexington, Kentucky. Okay, Lexington, Kentucky. Now, this is a Republican state. It has 323,000 motherfuckers. All right, and nestled within the center of state that brings you bourbon, whiskey, and bluegrass music. Lexington, Kentucky receives high marks for public schools and safety, and is often included on the best metro area to live list. Though Kentucky signature annual events, horse racing, Kentucky Derby, is held 80 miles to the west in Louisville. But the state largest city is Lexington. The star attraction includes Horse Park, a working horse farm, international competition venues, and living museums. So it's also home to the University of Kentucky, one of the more well-regarded major public colleges in the USA. And if you think I'm lying, you better ask somebody, ho. But still, Lexington, inconclusive on this list, comes with eyebrow-raising, scrutiny, because the reason is made. The reason it really made the cut in 2018, just 295 assaults were reported. Okay, that works out to 91 assault per 1,000 person or resident, considering the national average of 247 assaults per 1,000 people. All right, this figure is likely to be true, but some people say this is too good to be true. All right, but further assaults are by far the most common violent crime, committed in American robbery at what is it? I think it's 86% per 1,000. No, per 100,000. You know what I'm saying? So it is a distance second, but if Lexington in 2008 assaults statistics is accurate, that means it's has less assaults than robberies. All right, by 422. Okay. Now, this next one on our list, I would recommend going there because your ass might end up in a hole in the coyote pissing on your remains. But it's a Democratic state, and its population is 228,000 people. And if you want to know what that motherfucking place is, Jumbo Street, Boise, Idaho. That's right, Boise. Now, Idaho's largest city and capital is the first on this list, with a violent crime rate under 200 per 1,000 residents. At 277 per 1,000, Boise states are 27% lower than the national average in 2018. The city reports just one murder. In addition to its safety record, Boise most relatively affordable home prices and well-rated public school systems help and rank 17 in the United States. Okay, so News and World reports that the list of the best metro areas to live in the nation. So, though borrowed from its earlier settlers, who, upon surveying the surrounding Treasure Valley region, we're impressed by its vast forest land. But it got good butt out there, so let's not forget that too. But yeah, good butt. We cannot forget that because there's a nice butt out there. But Boise's nickname, the City of Trees, is today boasted by one of the most picturesque, garden in the country, because ironically one of Boise's fewest problems derives from its own attractions. All right, the city high quality of life has led to an influx on newcomers in many ways. Are calling this shit like the Lumen Californication, kind of like. But the term used, increased demands, begins to drive up home prices, increase traffic, and through shared classroom sizes, so decrease the overall quality of public schools. It is projected that Boise metro area, which has about 700,000 residents, will swell to nearly 800,000 by 2025. So, and the anticipation population growth of 15% in half a decade. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, Boise's mayor, Lauren McLean, is the subject of an ongoing recall attempt due to leaked reports of policies being proposed to defund law enforcement and implement sanctuary cities. You know what I'm saying? So she's looking out. So I'm pretty much sure if you went there, it'd be like the Bean, but not as cold as the Bean. Now, our next one brings us back down to the shoot 'em up state, Texas, Irving, Texas. Okay, now this is the population of Irving, Texas, which is a Republican state, is 200,000 people, and is adjacent to a major city and the nation's second most polluted state. Irving, Texas has an advantage similar to the ones that's enjoyed like Houston. You know what I'm saying? So it's especially sprawling suburb of Dallas, though, much which like Disneyland and are planned like communities with benefits of foresight. So it's easier to make the safe cities list when you are down in Irving. Okay, so they saying older metropolis is just outside the town limits, whose one violent crime rate is double the national average. So still credits were, give credit where credit is due, because Irving is it's a very attractive city, with sterling safety record, basically, and its violent crime rate is 209 incidents per 100,000 resident, excuse me. Sorry, dyslexia, so forgive me. But the violent crime rate of 209 incidents per 100,000 residents is 45% lower than the national average, and basically half of Texas statistics, basically. So, and Irving also benefits from a strong regional economy. So the entirety of it is a metro area. All right, Dallas-Fort Worth has a pre-COVID pandemic employment rate under 3%. One reason Irving has been called one of the best cities to relocate for like careers and purposes and such that, So if you can't afford to do music, or if you can't afford to be an actor and live in California, you can try to think about Irving. Hey, why not? Especially if you live on the East Coast. Makes sense, right? Yeah. But our next joint is 5, all right? And Henderson, Nevada. Okay? And it's a Democratic state, and it populates 310,000 people. Now, Henderson is safer little sibling to its big brother, what they call it again, legendary Doucheberry, whatever they call you, if I'm saying it right. but just southwest of Las Vegas. So Henderson is largely planned, like